we kind of thought that by promoting people and having more people on the team that it was going to help, but it really didn't because we didn't know what each of them were supposed to be doing. And I think they were frustrated with that, and we were frustrated because we didn't know what we needed them to do. We didn't have a VTO chart or accountability chart. It was all kind of just a mess. We had all these extra people. We didn't know what everybody was supposed to be doing, so we really didn't set them up for success to help us, at Big succeed. My name is Cassie Bradford, and I am one of the owners and now integrator with Behavioral Intervention Group. We provide early intervention, applied behavior analysis services to young children with autism. Communication was probably a huge part. We didn't have our meetings because we didn't know who was working on what and what responsibilities each other had. We would kind of come out of meetings with these tasks that needed to be done, and they kind of were assigned to everybody. Nobody really owned them, so it was very frustrating. It definitely led. We had a very high turnover rate, and I think it's just because everybody could sense us swimming upstream. We had wrong people in the wrong seats, high turnover. Our progressive discipline policy was horrible, in hindsight, and we felt it then. We just didn't really know how bad it was. It was very frustrating. It was almost strange though, because we didn't know how bad it was. We knew we were stressed out. We knew something needed to happen, but we didn't quite really understand what. We knew we were doing our best, and so we thought we were doing the right thing. We didn't know what we were doing wrong, so we didn't know how to fix it. It definitely felt like the struggle wasn't just on the leadership team, though. You could feel it all the way down to the entry level positions. The culture was struggling, and we just didn't know what to do. Try a lot of different systems necessarily. We did kind of what we thought. We read a lot of books, and obviously not the right books at the time. But we had a leadership team. We made decisions. We didn't really have a great sense of direction as far as where we wanted to go, so we didn't know where we were going. Only everything. We have refined processes. We created very specific roles, the responsibilities that are tied to each of those roles. We placed every right people in the right seat. We're now sure of when there's a task that comes out of our leadership meeting, we know who is supposed to be doing that task. Whereas before we weren't sure. We have consistent L10 meetings for all of our departments, which has been really awesome. We had meetings before. It just wasn't quite, we didn't go over, rocks and issues and metrics. And a very clear way of disseminating all that information to the team. Yeah, this one's a tricky one for us because we were in not really a decent place when starting with Cullen, but we were in a position of we didn't know where we were. We didn't know how bad things were. We weren't taking the right data. So had we started with him, but because we didn't have the metrics, we didn't know where we were. And we were already honestly going downhill when we met him. And we didn't, until we worked with him for a little bit to really figure out what kind of metrics we needed to be looking at. We just didn't quite know, even at the very beginning. So I think that we may have actually saved the company because I do believe that it would have been too late if we would have not started working with Cullen. So we just are seeing the uptick, which is awesome. It wasn't a huge profit, but it was definitely very different than what the trend we had been seeing, which is super relieving to see where we're going. Although I don't have the data, I do know that staff turnover is better, and I definitely believe that is very much because of the people analyzer and the core values. So recruitment and hiring that actually 3 months ago was our biggest concern. We just could not find people. And now that problem doesn't seem to be a problem anymore. So it's because we were able to use all the tools to be able to try to figure out how to tackle that. And I think that it finally paid off. So I think we're still in the middle of seeing some of the results. It's kind of like we're at the beginning of the uphill. So it's good. It's a relief. It's been a giant mess. A lot of things that were very much out of our control, and we didn't see coming. However, had we had some of these measures in place, we may could have seen some of it coming, or at least been prepared in the instance of, of a worst case scenario. So I'm relieved. I'm very hopeful, and I do believe that it's going to be great. It's been great. I don't have anything really to compare it to. Like I've only used 90. All of our staff are on 90, except our entry level positions, which is the majority of our staff. But all the people in a leadership or management seat do have a 90 account. We use them at all of our L10 meetings. We review the metrics, the rocks, the issues, the to-dos. We keep the accountability chart up to date. Now we do share an image of that with all of our staff on our staff portal. We use the quarterly conversations guide in 90 to meet with our staff on a quarterly basis. I would say, as far as Big goes and our makeup of our leadership team, he was just a great fit, and I feel like his personality traits were so what we needed. Do it now. Even you have so much to learn about your business. It's such a fun and educational experience.